Well, good morning. It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video because, well, I've kind of run out of things I think would be interesting, if any of them are. But today I'm going to go down to Truth or Consequences, which I have not done a video on. So, and I'll fly the VOR Alpha down there, and I'll do the, like I normally do, I'll do the takeoff here, the VOR approach down there, and then the landing and takeoff coming back, and landing here. So I'll try to make it short. And so let's get started. Alright, first thing we'll do is load the procedure. So we'll go over here to the GTN 650 procedure, approach. We got KTCS, I think. Yep, Truth or Consequences. That, VOR Alpha. And we'll do the TCS VOR as our transition. And we'll load and activate the approach. Says that's for monitoring only, which works out okay, and we'll actually use the GPS to fly it, but we'll monitor the VOR frequency, and I'll have that input by the time we get down there. Okay, so that's all set up. I'll be contacting clearance, and I better check and see who clearance is. But anyway, I'll see you at the hold short line before we take off. Okay, back with you. Just did the run-up. We're at Echo for 1-2, which is more direct. Hey, this is pretty benign, not much going on as far as wind. A little cold, but that's to be expected this time of year. So, I'll do the takeoff, and as soon as we switch over to departure, I'll cut the video until we get down close to the approach, unless something interesting happens, which rarely does. We'll set up traffic here, go full screen.
Wingspan 5, left to Charlie, ground point enter.
We'll get ready to go.
Charlie point, ground point enter, wingspan.
We got both fuel pumps on, landing light, flaps are in, chokes off, brakes still on. Albuquerque Tower, still 585, and Mike holding short 1-2, ready for takeoff.
585 to River Mike, Albuquerque Tower, line up and wait, runway 8.
Line up and wait on 1-2, 5 River Mike.
5 River Mike, line up and wait, runway, if you want 1-2, is that what you're requesting?
That's a firm.
Roger, sorry, taxi, line up and wait, runway 12.
Line up and wait, 1-2, 5 River Mike. Yeah, you got to keep the controllers on their game. We ask it for 1-2, and we're given 1-2 when we departed the T-hangars, but, oh well. Just pay attention to what they're saying. I see traffic across the runway, that's why we're holding the line up and waiting. Looks like a Pilatus, maybe.
Tower, say heading again for Raptor 704, please.
Raptor 704,
So we've been sitting here a while, and Pilatus crossed, and then it's been a big delay, but here we got another plane crossing. I don't know if he forgot about us or he was waiting for that jet to cross. But it's only premium fuel, so it's not
5 November Mike, runway 12, proceed on course, wind calm, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff 1-2 on course 5 Mike. Okay, break off. Both fuel pumps, landing light, flaps. Ready to go, heading bug set. Here we go. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments are in the green. We got 39, 40 knots. And 50 is good enough. Let's go. Up and away. Tap the brakes. Accelerate to 75 knots. We know we're going to go to 189. There we go. Flaps up.
Raptor 704, you can proceed on course. And understand you're going south, 7 south, east of the field.
At the moment, sir, we're top line, so we'll be just at the base of the mountains and working on top of the ridge line there as well.
Raptor 704, let's go ahead and take departure now, 23 knots.
We'll get 3.9 of Raptor 704.
S36000.
November 5, November Mike, connect departure.
Going departure, 5 November Mike.
5,900 for top flight.
Raptor 704, Albuquerque departure rate of contact. Good morning still, I guess. You can do the same thing as you did yesterday?
Yes, sir. Good morning as well.
Pilot.
Raptor 704, thanks. Contact approach 124.4. She's got that airspace down there. And use caution, there's one in the off field. I believe it's
direct to
Huey.
VOR.
24.4.
And Albuquerque departure, we're still 585, November Mike, passing through 6700 on the way to 85.
Still 585, November Mike, Albuquerque departure rate of contact. Good morning. Can climb unrestricted. And it says you want to go south and then go to Tucumcari, is that right?
No, I'm going to go to Truth or Consequences, do the VOR Alpha down there, and then head back to Albuquerque.
Alright, there's the problem. Okay, did you want to talk to the center en route?
Negative.
Number 585, November Mike, thanks. You can resume your own navigation on course, altitude your discretion.
Oh, now, 5 Mike. Okay, that's it. Unless something interesting happens, I'll see you just before we get to the VOR. Okay, back on with you. We're getting close. Nothing real exciting going on until I got down. I'll do a video to show you the Elephant Butte Lake. Okay, there's Elephant Butte Lake. Pretty large when it's got water. It doesn't have any water this year. Now we're within 10 miles of the VOR, so we can descend to 6,400 feet, which is what I'm going to do right now. Do it by indicated airspeed. Just activated the autopilot. 20 miles to the field, supposedly. We're going to come down to 6,400 feet, which is our crossing the VOR. And I'll do another wide angle shot of Elephant Butte. Don't know how it shows up on this camera. Another one I had the telephoto on, so it should show up. If it worked. So anyway, time to make a call. Due to the consequences of traffic, we're still 585, we're about 20 miles north of the field at 8,000, descending to 6,400. Flying the VOR Alpha with a setup for left traffic, runway 31, touch and go, then back to Albuquerque, to the consequences. Okay, so we're descending.
Truth or consequences traffic, truth or consequences Unicom, copy 3-1 touch and go. Wind direction on the field is a flat calm, altimeter 30 TAC 27, and no other reported traffic at this time.
Okay, thanks for the info, 5 November Mike. And we already got the ASOS or AWAS, so pretty much knew that stuff. It's interesting that usually Unicom doesn't respond to incoming traffic. That's good. So anyway, here we are. We got 3 minutes to the Truth or Consequences VOR. Now let's brief the approach plate. I've already got the minimum set in, but the approach plate is 112.7 for the frequency for the VOR. We got that dialed in. We've got no green needles. We're going to fly the GPS with the needles as a backup, which supposedly you could do legally. 120.67 is the ASOS, got it. 28.2 center, I talked to them about a TFR, and it's not active today. 122.8 CTAF, and the final approach course is 162 degrees. Minimum altitude 6,400 feet, which we're descending to now. Field elevation is 4862. So we'll look for pattern altitude 58, even though we can descend to 5560, which are the minimums. So that looks pretty good as far as the brief goes. So the missed approach is straight out, the left turn to 8,300 feet, direct to the VOR and hold at 8,000 feet, and climb to 8,300 feet after you get to the VOR. Now the GPS is trying to get us to do a procedure turn, which we don't need to do. So it's telling me to make a right turn right now, which would be a steep turn. Don't need to do it. So I'm back into heading mode, and we'll just set up for our landing on runway 31. And true for consequences traffic, but still 585, number Mike, about 8 miles north of the field, flying the VOR-A. And actually we're not 8 miles, I think the GPS is lying to me. Anyway, we've got about 3 miles north of the field. And we're at 6,400 feet, setting up for left traffic for 31, touch and go. Will be a northern departure traffic, true for consequences. There's the airfield. Elephant Butte right over there. Alright, gonna get a little busy. And true for consequences. Traffic, Bristol 585, number Mike is on left crosswind 31, touch and go on 31 with a northern departure, true for consequences. And we should hit minimums pretty soon here, which are 5560. Well, we're not going to go down that low because you'd use that as a circle of land. So we'll go ahead and begin our turn. Still got the autopilot on. Yeah, we'll turn that on. Both fuel landing looking good. Yeah, we're just a little below.
Consequences traffic Grumman 81227, taxiway Alpha to runway 31, true to consequences.
Okay, so he's still on the ground. And we might as well throw the flaps in since we're slow enough. And to the consequence traffic, Brazil 585, new Mike on left downwind, 431, touch and go, northern departure, to the consequences. Alright, both fuel pumps, landing light, flaps yes, brake off, choke off. Looking pretty good. And off to the left is the town of Truth or Consequences. Don't know if you can see it. And it's asking me to switch fuel tanks, but I will wait for that since we are in the pattern right now. No sense in getting too overloaded with task. Stay out of the airplane. Big secret. Alright, we got 69 knots, which is not too bad. Pull the power back. We'll start descending. Looking for a 500 foot minute descent rate. We're not there yet. There it is. Okay, looks good. And true to consequences traffic, but still 585. Remember Mike, turning left base 31, touch and go, northern departure, true to consequences.
Minimums.
There we go. That is lower than the pattern altitude. True to consequences traffic, but still 585. Remember Mike, turn in final for 31, touch and go, northern departure, true to consequences. Alright, both fuel pumps
500.
Flaps, yes. High. But we'll get down there. Pulling all the power off. We got 67 knots. Wind is variable or calm. We're above a glide slope. Looking at the Bazzi or whatever it's called over there. Now we're good. About 61 knots. Look at the end of the runway. Hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off. Touchdown, and away we go. Very good. Back up in the air. And to the consequences, traffic, they're still 585, and we're like upwind 31, parting the pattern to the north, through the consequences. going through this traffic, but still 585 to right, making a right turn heading north to Albuquerque. Through the consequences. There's the VOR over there, if you can see it with that camera. Alright, I'll take the landing lights off, fuel pump, and the flaps up. Bunch of restricted areas over to the right for the military. And we'll get the autopilot going so I can do some other stuff. And what do we want to climb to? Let's see. Probably 75.
Caution, obstacle.
And I'm not sure what the obstacle is, but okay. Okay, I'll set up a approach for Albuquerque, and I'll talk to you when we get close. Albuquerque approach, but still 585, November Mike.
Still 585, November Mike, Albuquerque approach, welcome back. Squawk 0421.
0421, just north of Berlin, 8,000 feet, like to proceed direct to BIBQ, fly the RNAV 3, full stop, got X-ray.
Still 585, November Mike, roger. Arrow 32492, turn left heading 180. So 5 November Mike, radar contact, position altitude verified, resume on navigation for BIBQ, at or above 8,000.
At or above 8,000 for BIBQ, 5 November Mike.
So 5 November Mike, 6 miles from BIBQ, cross BIBQ at 8,000, cleared the RNAV Yankee, runway 3 approach.
8,000 above or above BIBQ, clear the RNAV Yankee approach for 3, 5 November Mike. Okay, back with you. I just put that radio call on.
46.
So you can see that we're cleared. We're about 5 miles.
4639 Albuquerque approach. Good afternoon. Delete the speed restrictions. Cleared the ILS. The runway 8 approach.
Since we're cleared for it,
Let the speed
the autopilot fly it. And I'll be cutting the video.
32492 fighting 210. Cancel altitude restrictions.
Too much boredom. But I'll be talking to you along the route. But by the way, I've already loaded the approach. I've activated, as you just saw. I've got the minimums dialed in at 5512. Stay out of the airplane. One of the big deals about flying. Stay out of the airplane to save you a lot of grief.
Cessna 3 Bravo Alpha, standby 1. I'll get right back to you. Break. PHI 53. Go ahead.
All right, we're coming up on BIBQ, which is an initial approach fix.
PHI 53 approved as requested. Traffic approaching from the north. Going to be on the ILS CRJ2.
And after we make the turn, next is the final approach fix, which is Texas, and we'll intercept the glide path along the way.
4639 is traffic on the TCAS, 12 o'clock, 10 miles eastbound, 8,000 feet. They're going to stay up to that altitude for another 3.5 miles. They'll cut through the final from Kristen, but they'll be east of you by the time you turn the corner. That's 4639, roger. Arrow 32492, resuming on navigation 3, contact tower 20.3. Cessna 113 Bravo Alpha, Albuquerque approach, thanks for waiting, go ahead.
Just inbound, full stop, support with X-ray.
This is Cessna 3 Bravo Alpha, thanks. You have a runway preference?
Runway 30.
30, you want to go to 30?
30,
South 585, November Mike, contact tower 120.3.
20.3, Fighter Mike. Albuquerque Tower, we're still 585 November Mike on the RNAV Yankee 3 approach, full stop.
585 November Mike, Albuquerque Tower, wind calm and with 3 clear to land.
Clear to land on 3, Fighter Mike. Started to write down whether I'm clear to land or not, because a couple times over Double Eagle I actually didn't report the 5-mile final like they asked, and I wasn't clear to land. I had to query them, admitting that I had screwed up, so I want to make sure that I've got that written down. And if I don't see it written down, I'll contact them. But I've been cleared to land. So we've got 2.8 miles to Texas. Glide path is coming in, glide slope. see a capture right there. This will start flashing. There we go. Alright, glide path is captured. So now I'll pull back power at about 5,000 RPM. Which is, I'll be going down way faster than I would if I was an IMC. But since we've got clear as a bell today.
Okay, with 39 Albuquerque Tower, wind calm, runway 8, clear to land.
Runway 8, clear to land, that's 4639.
Alright, we got 5 miles to go to the runway. I can put both fuel pumps on, the landing lights on. We're doing 130 knots over the ground. Pull back the power a little bit, slow down. Pull it back to about 4,500 RPM. Always just a little bit bumpy above the river. And there's a shot of the Rio Grande and downtown Albuquerque with the camera phone. Should show up a little bit better. There's the airport and runway. Alright, pull back the power some more to 4,000.
Save 1-1, traffic on a 2-mile final for runway 8 is a regional jet.
Save 1 has traffic in sight, visual separation, we can be number 2.
Save 1-1, roger, just continue to remain south runway 26, I got additional traffic inbound for runway 3 and about a 2-mile final of Brazil.
Save 1-1.
I will pull it back to 3,000 RPM. Get it down slow enough to put the flaps in, which is about 85 knots for me. There it is. Flaps coming in. Both fuel pumps, landing light, flaps in. Choke off, brake off. Autopilot's still on. We got minimum is a 5512 dialed in. Oh, we got 74 knots, which is rather slow, but plenty fast enough for landing. Alright, 67 knots. Get a little slow, get a little more throttle.
Save 1-1, roger. Do not overfly the traffic that just landed on runway 8. Remain east of runway 3. Landing at Mike 3 will be true on risk, non-moving area. Wind calm, altimeter 3024.
On risk, Mike 3, we will not overfly, passing behind landed traffic. Save 1-1.
Okay, with 4639, left turn at your discretion and kind of ground point 9.
Right, slow down.
Left turn, ground point 9.
Go ahead and pull a little power off. 68 knots. Looking for 5512, which are minimums. Both fuel pumps, landing light, flaps. Bazzy showing we're right on the glide slope. Glide path. And we got 68 knots. Pull back a little bit.
Minimums.
Autopilot coming on. And have to hand fly it.
Albuquerque Tower, Skyhawk 113 Bravo Alpha, inbound 30.
113 Bravo Alpha, Albuquerque Tower, wind calm. Do you have the traffic inside just below you, 12 o'clock, about a mile?
Confirm 3 Bravo Alpha.
3 Bravo Alpha, I'm showing at least 2 targets there, confirm you have both of them in sight.
Hold it off.
Just one at the moment, but we're holding 6,500 plus restrictions from
Roger, wind calm, runway 3, clear to runway 30, clear to land.
30, clear to land, 3 Bravo Alpha.
Noise is coming down. Alright. Other fuel pump off. Leave the landing lights on just a bit. And we'll get off up here at Fox 3. Be going over the ground. So that's the flight. Thanks for coming along. See you on the next one.